So the guy walks up to me and says, "Man, you got change for a 5?" In Philly, man, you don't pull no money out. You just don't pull no money out on the sidewalk. This guy had his money out in his hand. Don't ask me why. At the kindness of my heart, I went against some morals. I put my bag down. I said, "Man, you might be in luck." I'm like looking over my shoulder, like, you might be in luck. Like, and I rip off 5 ones. I said, "You in luck, man." I turned around like this, and he's like, "You might as well just give it all to me."
Oh, he had a gun.
Damn.
Just got paid, too.
That same reaction y'all just did, I did the same thing, and I snatched him and disarmed him
Okay.
and flipped him and was bashing his face into a tree and blacked out. Rage.
Went into Hulk mode.
Jesus.
A cop was coming down the street and saw me and
And just sees
did a
you.
U-turn, came back up the sidewalk, I guess called in some backup. I found all this stuff after the fact
But-
because
But you're defending yourself.
this is correct. What I was told was when the cops arrived on the scene, I was the aggressor. They announced themselves for me to stop. I refused. And I'm smacking this guy's face into this tree, and teeth and blood is going everywhere, and the gun is on the ground.
Oh.
So the gun's no longer in his possession.
The gun is a gun spec now with me being the aggressor.
Oh. That's
So I got an
That
aggravated
is
assault and the gun spec.
wild.
Oh, and they sent you to jail or sent you to prison the first.
First time we went straight to the penitentiary.
All right, and we're back. It's good to be in this chair next to Lou.
Here I am.
Sorry to touch you.
Another episode.
Another
Fresh
episode down, yeah. I'm sitting here. This one tickles my heart a little bit. I'm sitting here with Bob Frazier, or as your father would call you, Robert. Is that correct?
He would call me Bobby,
Oh, he'd call you Bobby. Okay.
unfortunately.
Bobby and Bob and I have worked together now for almost a year.
Yeah.
I see you every day. I don't know shit about you, right? I hear you over in the group room spitting fire in there. And I'm like, I bet that guy's got something to say. I know a little of little snippets of Philly Bob. And that's really why I got you, because I just wanted to hear about Philly Bob.
Oh, Philly Bob.
Philly Bob. But yeah, I don't know anything about you, Bob. Let's talk how does Bob become Bob? How does childhood look like for you?
Well, childhood was rough. Growing up in Philly, a lot of domestic violence at home, a lot of violence in the street, in the neighborhoods. Anyway, leaving off my block, I had to go through a different gang. To go to school, I had to go through a different gang. To go to the movie theaters, I had to go to a different gang.
Damn.
To go to the supermarket or the laundromat, you had to go through a different gang. To go play basketball, you had to go through a different gang.
So you got to plan your day accordingly
No, just I learned how to run long distance, and I fought a lot.
Jeez, buddy.
Never joined any of the gangs, never got no tattoos, none of that. Always stood like a lone lion. But I grew up with a lot of anger inside of me because of the things that I witnessed at home. And, I kind of took it out on everything outside of me. There was weed smoke at home, there was alcohol drinking at home. It was normalized. So,
When did that take for you?
normalized,
Given that it was so normalized, when did you first dabble?
8 years old.
8 years old.
God.
I used to steal the roaches out of the ashtrays, and my grandmother would have me collect all the glasses from my grandfather's barn and dining room. My grandfather had a barn and dining room, that's how normal they made it. He'd have 4 or 5 guys over smoking cigars and sipping Old Granddad and whatever else, Seagram's Gym, and I'd collect the glasses and take them into grandma in the kitchen. But before I did that, I'd pour all of the excess into the silver tumbler.
Oh, no.
And take the glasses, and I'd come back and get the little whisk thing and put on top and do the little shake thing, imitating him.
Don't know what the hell you're
mean?
doing.
Yeah.
Shoot it, you know what I mean? Oh, grandma forgot one, trying to keep my breath away from her as I'm putting the cup up so she didn't realize, and she'd give me the rag and go clean the bar off, and I'd you know, raid the ashtrays. Back then they had matchbooks
Oh yeah.
in
Yeah,
boxes.
yeah.
I'd take all the matches out, put them in my pocket, and put the roaches in
In the box.
In
the
box.
box. You know what I mean? Had like 2, 3 boxes. I'd have like stashed boxes upstairs in the bedroom. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize that I was making them more potent.
Yeah, you just smell like an ashtray of
you
weed
know.
now.
So I'd steal a can of beer out the refrigerator and go out on the back steps and one match for one roach. One match for one roach.
So what are you doing? Just like taking the roach and man, just going through the box.
Just like 8 years old, and by the time I was 11, it was pretty weekly, a few times a week. I'm smoking something, drinking something. Still going to school though. Had real thick glasses. My glasses was real thick back then.
Oh.
Thank God for modern technology. They can make your prescriptions nice and thin.
Do you have them like stereotypical like nerdy glasses?
I got teased and all that. I was good in school, you know what I mean,
man.
and had thick glasses, good at school, you know what I mean. I got picked close to last, if not last, on the sports teams.
Really?
Yeah, and the crazy part is that I was athletic. I was good.
I was gonna say,
long
you're-
and limber, you know what I mean, and it
You're
was
tall.
the glasses, you know what I mean. It
yeah.
was the glasses, and one day some girl said, "Take your glasses off," and I'm, what? Like, she said, "Take your glasses off." I want you to go out your glasses. Took my glasses off. She's like, "Oh, you're really cute." Created a monster.
Just went straight to the ego.
So,
Huh?
yeah. So between school, I'm not wearing my glasses. Come home from school, I have to put my glasses back on because I can't come in the house without wearing my glasses.
Yeah.
I would get them broke sometimes at school because I'd take them off and, they get broken in the coat closet or something, you know what I mean? And Dad was not that type of guy. My dad's military,
Okay.
retired tech master sergeant.
Was he a pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of guy?
He was the I will beat you down into the ground type of guy.
Okay,
Damn.
gotcha.
What I say goes, that's it, that's all, no questions asked. You broke your glasses again, and these is with his weapons of choice.
Oh.
So by 11, getting whooped with a belt was mute. It was all disciplined by hand, fist.
He went
So,
straight to the fist.
Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah,
brother.
we was fisticuffed at 11.
Wow. Were we talking like body shots or like anywhere?
Headshots
Anywhere he can
too.
get you.
I don't know if you ever noticed how tethered my eyebrows are.
That's all from wear and tear from Dad's fist.
Just them rabbit punches, man.
Damn.
I did more fighting at home than I did outside.
That's crazy. You ever fight back?
Yeah, by the time I was 13. Well, mind you, what I witnessed as a youth with the domestic violence was him against my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And confronting him at about 8. When I get old enough, I'm going to kick your ass.
Damn.
By 13,
You could hold your own.
my brain said if I can fight against Dad, I can fight against anybody.
Yeah.
He had already, took me to Joe Frazier's gym, and I got kicked out of there in 6 months because I kept coming back with scars on my knuckles. Didn't realize that once you became a member of a gym that you're now, how did they say it?
Like you belong
You're
to
like
them.
licensed or whatever. Like your
Oh.
hands are registered.
Now your weapons.
Your hands are registered. And I said, I don't know what you thought I came here for, but I came here to learn how to take care of myself. Got kicked out of there in 6 months. He took me over to this guy named Ozzy Wright's Taekwondo studio. I got kicked out of there in 4 months.
Damn, Bob.
So
what?
Taekwondo is really just about, blocks, techniques, holds, things of that sort, not really
Not
for
they're
striking.
defensive.
Right.
Yeah.
And, by the time I get somebody in a compromising position, I'm striking, and I'm striking for blood. Once I see blood, it raged me. It didn't make me stop. Oh, damn, I made him bleed. And I'm like, I'm
More.
And so 13, Dad, he split me up, had me leaking, and I had a switch that flipped inside of me, man, and That's when I finally hit him back. But he kept on telling me, I'm going to keep hitting you harder and harder until you hit me back. And took some air up out of him with a 1-2 in the solar plex. And, you know, and he was like, okay. I was like, what do you mean? I'm on my toes now. I'm bleeding, and I'm dancing, and I'm hyped. And from that day forward, you know, it was move the furniture out to the middle of the living room floor.
You guys just boxing in the living room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you ever afraid of him at one
I was
point?
always afraid of him.
Yeah, even like when you grew some.
I was always afraid of him. I mean, you know, he was still dad. I don't know how old I was. I think when I left right after high school to go into the service myself, I went into the Air Force myself. Right after high school, I was only in for almost 2 years. Came home at almost 19, and I thought I was somebody for real. You know, I had the street knowledge from prior.
Yeah.
Had the boxing knowledge, the martial arts knowledge, now the military
Now the
knowledge.
military.
Yeah.
I turned into a little wrecking ball. If I backed up a little bit at 14, I was selling weed on his front, right off the front porch on the sidewalk.
On Dad's front porch?
Selling nickel bags of weed.
Oh man.
Where are you getting the weed?
I was stealing it from him.
Oh man. You gotta
So
sell his own dope on the front porch.
It took me a while to really realize that my dad was the weed man. Every Sunday he'd come in the house with a black trash bag like Santa Claus, you know what I mean? And
No shit, it's full weed.
put down 4, back then, remember the newspaper was like this, you know, he put down like 4 sections of the newspaper and like dump all this out and de-seed it and de-stem it and then bag it all up and roll it up and put them in El Producto boxes, you know. And, you know, I found his stash in the crib, you know what I mean? I'm pulling like a little bit out of each bag and rolling it, you know what I mean? I'm having my own little bag, you know, and was first selling dollar joints and, you know, enough to buy, you know, a little something myself, and then I'm bagging up nickels and, you know, I thought I was doing something.
Does he ever catch you in the act?
Yeah, not in the act, but,
he just knew.
you know, when he had his friends come over, I was like, my dad's real popper. He always got somebody over, you know what I mean? Incense burning, you know, Icy Brothers playing.
Yeah, music going on in the background.
You know, weed in the air, a little sip of this, a little sip of that, you know. And I'm like, my dad got a lot of friends. Just never connected the dots that, you know, my dad's the weed man. But I came home from school one day and he was sitting in the living room. He should have been gone to work. My dad worked 3 to 11. I got out of school at 2:40.
So,
Dad usually was on his way out the door when I was on my way in, you know, and he's sitting there chilling, and I'm like, what's up, Dad? Like, you know, he's like, sit down. And I'm like, huh? He's like, sit down. And I'm like, he's like, you know, clip one of the bags on, remember the little handheld scales?
Oh, yeah, the scales.
You know, and he's like, how come the Gyro's not on that line over there? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know,
he's
Dad.
Like, you don't know, huh? Sit that one down, grab another one. He's like, oh, how come the Gyro's not on that line? And I'm like, I don't know. Why are you asking me that? And he stood up over top of me. He said, I'm going to give you one more chance. He grabbed another one. Stood over top of me. He's like, how come that? You know, I'm sitting down. He's standing over top of me. He crashes me. And, you know, and I told him, you know, I said, you got all that. Surely, you know, I'm just taking a joint out of each bag. You know, it ain't going to hurt nothing. You know what I mean? He's like, I got to sell this to my customers. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be
And he told you that at 14.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I stopped pinching off of his because now I got a little surplus. Got a little.
You're good for a minute, yeah.
And I'm selling nickel bags in front of his house on the sidewalk.
The balls of you.
You know, and he had told me, you know, the only way to get anywhere in life was to get that piece of paper. And I'm rubbing $5 bills together, looking over the shoulder, like, yeah, I got that paper. I remember that vividly. And by the time I was 16, I was cooking up cocaine.
No shit.
Really?
How do you fall into that?
Had a best friend whose dad was a police officer, of all things. Get killed in the line of duty. And him and his mom got awarded, you know, this money and stuff for him dying in the line of duty. And he used to drive around a little orange Volkswagen Beetle. like Herbie Love Bug type
Yeah,
of beetle.
with
One
the
of the
trunks,
old
the
school
trunks in the
ones.
front.
With the
Yeah.
trunks in the front.
Yep.
And he pulled up to the house one day, and he was driving this Lincoln Mark 7, midnight blue with the white roadster top, with a pair of gazelles on, like, you
Damn.
know. And I'm like, he's like 17, right? You know, and I'm like, dude, what happened? He's like, man, remember when my dad got killed? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, mom got the money, man. And I'm like, he's like, come on, get in. And I said, Dad, I'm going to ride with Troy. He's like, all right. Everybody liked Troy. Troy was like, he was my high school buddy.
Yeah.
And his uncle, Troy's uncle, was a probation officer. Dad was a cop. His brother was a probation officer. And we rode down into, I don't know if y'all know how Philly is famous for cheesesteaks.
Oh, yeah.
We rode down the South Street and bought some cheesesteaks. And we double parked, because you know everybody double parks in Philly. I don't know if y'all know that or not. They double park every time. And he went in. He said, watch the car. I'm like, all right. And he went in and came back out with 3 cheesesteaks, right? One for me, one for him, and one for his Uncle Tommy. Had a couple of 4-packs. That's back when 4-pack tall cans was out. I don't even remember what the beer was that they had bought, but went into the house, at Tommy's house. He was down in South Philly, and it was like a chateau. It was like I don't even know. It was like walkways, overhangs, like tunnel, like type. I don't know. It was nice as hell though.
It's a house?
No, it was like a villa. It was like
Oh,
a
okay.
villa. It was like a
Okay.
villa. And we went up the side steps and got onto the landing where he was, and Tommy poked his head out there. He's like, y'all hurry the hell up. I was like, damn, we in a rush for you. We bringing the food, man. Hush up. Like, you know, we get in the door, and Tommy, like, he's like scuttering around like a little mouse, man. Like, I mean, he's moving so fast through the house, and I'm like, Troy's like, yeah, man, take your sandwich, man. Go ahead and turn the TV on. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, man. You know, like, give me one of them beers, you know. And I'm sitting down, and I don't know, football game or something was on, and started eating my cheesesteak. And was like, hey, man, I don't need this much salt. It's a big old.
Oh.
He was like, oh yeah, let me get that, man. Let me get that. You know what I mean? It was one of those in each one of the cheesesteaks.
Oh.
Really?
And picked up.
So he was comping when he was buying the cheesesteaks.
Damn.
And I didn't realize it. So Troy's in the kitchen. I'm in the living room. I hear Tommy coming and going back and forth from the kitchen to the bedroom. And I'm like, man, y'all come on, sit down and eat, man. Let's watch the game, man. He's like, we coming, man. Just go ahead and start, man. We be there in a minute. Got to take care of some shit. I don't realize that they're in the kitchen cooking this shit up.
Go.
And, you know, I hear this clink, 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 clink. I was like, Troy, what the fuck is you doing in there? And I get up, being nosy, go in the kitchen, and, you know, he's cooking this shit up. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
So he's making crack.
Yeah, they call it the freebase.
Freebase
Yeah.
back in the day, yeah.
And,
What year was that?
oh, gosh, this had to have been about 83, 84.
So
right
right
when
when
the,
the
yeah.
83,
pandemic,
84.
crack pandemic was starting to fucking lift
see.
off.
Let's see. I'm going to say about 83.
Now, what's the
Right
difference
on
between?
time.
Is there a difference between freebase and crack?
No, not really.
Just the idea of smoking
They
it.
add more chemicals into it to make it actually crack, probably. I mean, you know, they add the B12 and all that little stuff to make it bigger. You know what I mean? But freebase back then was just the straight baking powder and the cocaine. You know
That's
what
it.
I mean? And there wasn't these extra additive shits, whatever they add in, you know, as stuff's changed and evolved.
Oh yeah.
But so I come home from the service in 19, and I was pissed off, angry, all that rage that I had from youth. I took some major to court over some racial prejudice stuff that he was trying to, you know, that he was saying to me and trying to treat me a certain kind of way. And instead of me putting my hands on him, which was growth, thank God for the military breaking me down, or they gave me some type of discipline. I took him to court instead of fighting, and I got an honorable discharge, but he still screwed me anyway. He was a major. I was the first airman, first. So I didn't only have one stripe. He had brass on his
couple of them
back,
there,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And he filed an appeal. I won. He filed an appeal. I won the appeal, but he had a guy in the personnel office dock my discharge paperwork.
Oh.
He screwed me. So after 6 months having an honorable discharge, when I went home, I was supposed to be able to re-enlist, but into a different branch of the service. So I waited until about month 5. Well, I went to my mom's house. I didn't go back to dad's house. I went to my mom's house. They were, of course, separated. They've been separated since I was like 6. And man, I go into this recruiter's office, man, and he's like, Mr. Frazier, did you ever look at your DD-214? Duh. I'm like, yeah, it sits up on the mantelpiece all the time with the blue plate on it. He's like, no, not your discharge certificate. The DD-214, the paperwork, the stuff that's in the yellow envelope. It's like, no, I don't think so. He's like, well, come around here. And he had me look on the computer screen. And he said, you see all of these N/A's on every line? That means that you're not applicable to anything. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Like, you can't reapply. You don't get no benefits. You don't get no insurance. You don't get nothing. What happened? And I'm like,
fuck?
I don't know what happened. He's like, but you got an honorable discharge. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm supposed to be able to re-enlist right now. That's why I'm here. He's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you know, that rage.
Oh,
back.
dude.
Yeah, you damn right.
I would have been fucking on fire.
He told me I could go to Veterans Affairs. I heard him, but I wasn't listening. My brain said, do what you know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Was mad, came back home. I stopped at a friend's house, I'm sure, and got high. And, you know, that brain just clicked on straight hustle mode. Click. And I went and got a daytime job as a little file clerk, data file clerk, you know, where I could dress nice by day. And by night, I'm hood and Timberland up, you know what I mean? And I'm on the grind. And things went bad pretty quick. From about 19 to 22 or 23. Let's see. My oldest daughter is 40. Yeah, 23. I was a mess. Using and selling.
What are you using? Are you using coke at this point?
I was using crack.
Crack. Oh, you're doing
You were
crack.
smoking crack.
Drinking, smoking weed.
Did the crack do anything different for you than the weed and the alcohol?
I thought it made me more of a hustler. What it did was it was fueling my anger, is what it was doing.
Yeah.
High anxiety, paranoia.
Yeah, living
and
on the
weed
edge,
coupled
man.
in with it. Yeah, very much on the edge all the time. I'm real rigid. People were seeing the change in me when I couldn't. You know, the ladies who I was trying to interact with, my mom, who was, I think I kind of scared her a lot with some of the way that I talked and the lack of being responsible. She was like, what is going on? What is wrong with you?
What happened to you?
And my mom was a registered nurse, so, you know, she's seen addiction before. My mom was, you know, my mom snorted cocaine from time to time. I knew that. I seen it. I knew she smoked weed and I knew she drank. But she could fucking function. She was a social user. I'm the only one in my family that ever became addicted. Like,
was crack like taboo back in like the early days like that? You know, like crackhead now you're like, it's gross, dirty.
It was everywhere, wasn't it, in the 80s?
It was everywhere. I mean, you seen it. They would look at you real strange if you was smoking crack. Like, why are you doing that? You know, weed and alcohol, acceptable.
Is that a cultural thing?
I don't know. I knew a lot of different nationalities that was smoking crack.
Yeah.
But I don't know if their families knew. But, you know, it was widespread. That's for sure. I mean, there was a whole lot of people in my neighborhood, around my mom's neighborhood. Well, shit, my dad's neighborhood too. Shit, I got high with people in both neighborhoods actually.
Philly, fuck yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dad's house is in Southwest Philly, and Mom lived up in Germantown, and that's pretty distance from each other. But it was all over the place.
Are you full on like full time crack smoker now? Or are you just
At this
dibbling
particular
in? Yeah,
time,
yeah,
yeah, I'm like a early 20-year-old guy who's working by day, acting like I'm okay, like I'm social, like I'm productive, and by night, I'm a thug, smoking weed, drinking, crack smoking
yeah. Damn.
fiend. You know what I mean? But it got a lot worse than that. That was just the beginning.
When you could hide it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I thought I was hiding it, but
Well,
remember I told
right.
you people,
Yeah.
But I mean, you're able
people
to
could tell.
separate
Like
for
functioning
a
semi-
while.
I could still go to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I could still go to work. I probably was not doing my best at all on my job. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't say that. I know I wasn't. I know I wasn't doing my best because I recall when I caught my first felony charge, I went straight to the penitentiary.
Damn. Number one.
It was on a Friday. The boss came around at 11:30, handed everybody their paycheck. And as soon as I opened my envelope and I seen my cash, I told him right then, I got something to do this afternoon. I won't be back after lunch. He's like, oh, okay, Bob, don't worry about it. We'll see you on Monday. Green light. Don't stop. Don't collect $200. Green light. I was gone. Went downtown to a check cashing place. Didn't have no bank account. 20-something years old, don't have no bank account. Something's wrong there.
Yep.
Go to a check cashing place, cash my check. Go to the mall, buy some gear.
Okay, it's good to see your priorities are in order here.
Yeah.
Buy some gear. I'm in a burgundy corduroy pants and jacket set, silk burgundy shirt, silk burgundy socks, silk burgundy suede shoes.
Damn.
Right? I go to the mall, buy some gear. I stop at the pub, the little tavern, buy me a couple frosted mugs. You know what I mean?
Throw a couple back.
Hollering at the girl.
Okay, it's good Friday
know.
so far.
And meet up with a homeboy, get a bag, weed, you know what I mean? Go in the bathroom, roll one up, you know what I mean? Give him some dap, and I'm out the door. I'm smoking while I'm walking. So the City Center Mall is probably 5 miles, maybe 5 to 7 miles from my dad's house. I decided to walk there instead of catch the bus. I could have caught the D bus and went straight up Walnut Street, straight to his house. He lived on Chestnut Street, the next street over. And I decided to walk because I could go through University City, University of Penn campus.
Yeah.
I could walk through campus and see the honeys.
Okay.
It's a nice fall day. Sun is out, you know what I mean? Brisk, but it's a nice day. I'm walking, got my bag, you know what I mean? I'm puffing, hollering at the girls, you know what I mean? And some guy walks up to me and says, man, you got change for a 5? In Philly, man, you don't pull no money out. You just don't pull no money out on the sidewalk. This guy had his money out in his hand. Don't ask me why. At the kindness of my heart, I went against some morals. I put my bag down. I said, man, you might be in luck. You know, I'm like looking over my shoulder like, you might be in luck. Like, and I rip off 5 ones, you know. I said, you in luck, man. I turned around like this, and he's like, you might as well just give it all to me.
Oh, he had a gun.
Damn.
Just got paid, too.
That same reaction y'all just did, I did the same thing, and I snatched him and disarmed him
Okay.
and flipped him and was bashing his face into a tree and blacked out. Rage.
Went into Hawk mode.
Jesus.
A cop was coming down the street and saw me and
And just sees
did a
you.
U-turn, came back up the sidewalk, I guess called in some backup. I found all this stuff after the fact
But-
because
But you're defending yourself.
this is correct. What I was told was when the cops arrived on the scene, I was the aggressor. They announced themselves for me to stop. I refused. And I'm smacking this guy's face into this tree, and teeth and blood is going everywhere, and the gun is on the ground.
Oh.
So the gun's no longer in his possession.
the gun is a gun spec now with me being the aggressor.
Oh, that's
So I got an
That
aggravated
is
assault and the gun spec.
wild.
oh, and they sent you to jail or sent you to prison the first.
First time we went straight to the penitentiary.
And like no chance to defend yourself, no witness statements, nothing.
Well, no witnesses. No.
Was it a white guy that
No.
you no?
I was curious too.
Yeah,
I was
'cause-
curious
He was
too.
black.
Yeah, what the hell? And that
So what the prosecution held their hat on was me being the aggressor, me not acknowledging the cops when they arrived on the scene, and the gun being on there. And I'm like, I knew a little bit. I've been watching Law and Order, like
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason. Yeah, it's probably Perry Mason back then, right? I was like, check the fingerprints. Didn't touch the gun. You know what I mean? My fingerprints ain't on. It's like, it's beside the point. You was the aggressor, and you did not yield when we announced ourselves and told you to stop.
What about the other dude?
What about him?
Nothing.
Nothing
Does he show up to court and testify?
other than a smashed-in face.
You know what? I don't even know if he showed up to court, honestly.
Wow.
I don't even remember, to be honest. I know they sent my ass straight to Gratisford prison, though.
How long did they give you?
I got 18 months. I got 6
18
months for
months.
the assault, and I got a year for the gun.
Damn.
That is so fucked up.
And this is prison in the 80s, right? This is prison when prison is prison
Yeah,
still.
man.
This is in 86. My
Golly.
first prison.
And where's that prison at? What's it called?
In Pennsylvania, Gratisford.
Gratisford.
Tell
okay.
us about it.
Yeah,
Tell us
what's
about
that?
your
How do
first
you
bid.
hype up to that? How do you talk yourself into that?
Gratisford was a three-tiered prison. It was only like 1,500 men in it, 500 on each tier.
Okay.
It was like 200 single beds in rows, a control aisle, 300 beds in rows over here, 20 showers, 20 toilets, 20 sinks.
And
in
we're
the
talking
back.
like no privacy, shower, wide open showers, all that.
half walls,
Jeez.
half walls,
Half walls.
in the control tower at the end, right over top where the steps are. Bad scene, man. I don't know why you made me think about that shit.
What are you going through day one walking into
Yeah,
that?
I mean, how are
'Cause-
you feeling?
I'm mad,
Yeah.
but I'm scared at the same time because
Yep.
I've never been in this situation. I was really pissed off at the system. I felt like,
Oh,
I
I
got the
would've been-
real...
Well, the system got you again.
Yeah. And I'm smelling shit in the air. I'm literally watching grown-ass men, knees and elbows, crawl across the floor in the middle of the night, hearing bed springs squeaking.
So people bumping uglies.
And, mind you, I'd already been in the military. I knew how to, tighten a bed down.
Yeah.
I knew how to, make a
Yeah.
bed tight as hell.
Bounce a fucking quarter off that
yeah,
bitch.
It's the first time I learned how to sleep on my back. I had never slept on my back in my life. I had this bed so tight, man, I'd get in the edge of that mug and I'd slide.
You just squeeze your way in.
I'm like up here to my neck, man. I'm like, like, what the fuck?
So that's a real thing.
Trauma.
Like not sleeping on your belly is a real thing in prison.
Bruh, I wasn't going to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wanted to be the one to
risk.
going
Yeah,
to
not take advice.
wasn't worth the risk.
And it was like I'm going to say daily thing. Like, and, see the guys the next days and shit, they got towels in their head, like, with twists in it.
Oh, like
they got,
the women.
like they got hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
done put Kool-Aid on
Oh,
their
my.
cheeks and on
Yeah.
their lips, like they, and I'm like, what?
It's a different world.
Man, it was trauma. It was traumatic.
I can only imagine.
Trying to play spades, you know what I mean? You get 1 hour a day to be in the middle of the wreck, you know what I mean? I don't even want to associate with them in the wreck, man. You know what I mean? You too touchy-feely for me. I'm not playing no basketball with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching people. Mind you, I'm a young, scrappy 20-something-year-old. I still got my military fitness,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cut up, you know what I mean? I never bulk in my life. You see how slim I am.
You got a chip on your shoulder, man.
Plus I'm angry.
Angry, yeah.
Plus I'm angry.
You ever take it out on somebody in there?
In there? No.
Huh.
They pretty much left me alone. I think I said a few things to a few people. I had more problems here in Columbus, Ohio, in 24th Jackson Pike than I did anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
to be
checks
honest.
out. That checks out, buddy.
That makes sense.
That's where
be
my
honest,
trauma comes from.
So, but I would play cards. I would play spades. You know what I mean? And I think because of how competitive I am, coupled with my rage and me, you know, and they was just like, oh,
You're
Let's
fucking
not mess with him.
smacking.
Yeah.
You're fucking
alone, you know,
cutting motherfuckers.
So I remember a CO when they came and told me to roll it up. My time was up, and the guy came, the CO came, and he's like, "Hey, I just met your dad, man. Man, he looks like a rough customer, man. You sure you want to leave with him?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And we're walking down the steps, and we get to the bottom tier, and my dad's standing down at the end of the hall and shit looking like motherfucking Superman and shit, with his hands on his hips. And he said, "You sure you want to go with him?" I turned around and looked back at them steps, looked down the hall at my dad, looked at them steps again. I said, "Sorry, bro, I got to go with him whether I want to or not."
Yeah.
You know, I went on down the property and got my clothes changed out, and he was still just standing there. You know what I mean? I'm offering these little things over here, changing my clothes. My dad stayed in the same damn spot
The whole
hall,
time.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, and I get down there, and he's like, "Let's go. Your grandmother in the car waiting on you." And I'm like, "What?" His mom, my grandma, whose house I was in, who I used to take the cups to. I'm like, "Dad, why you bring grandma?" She was like, you know, I'm like, what the He's driving, grandma's in the front seat, I'm in the back, and she's just turned around over the back seat, man, just reading me the riot act all the way home. And he just turned over, you know, just laughing at me, man. And I'm like, and I started to feel so bad because I know that's not the way I was raised, you know. But honestly, I didn't think I had any coping skills to be able to do that situation any different. And I honestly believe even if I hadn't stopped at the pub, got the couple of mugs I had, smoked a little bit that I smoked, I think even if that hadn't happened without the substances, I probably still would have
Same result.
smashed dude up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my great grandmother passed away while I was in that prison stand.
That's rough.
And they took me, my dad and my grandmother took me to grandma's house.
Oh.
They was going to let me stay in that house.
Damn, the whole house?
The whole house, 3
Damn.
stories, down
Okay.
in North Philly.
Okay.
North Philly is, whew. North Philly ain't nothing like Southwest Philly or Germantown. North Philly is North Philly.
It's bad.
So I'm sure y'all seen some pictures of like what Kensington looks like
Yeah,
now.
yeah, the zombie.
So it was like the beginning stages of that.
Okay.
In North Philly on the regular. A lot of heroin, all types of crack, alcoholics, everything, robberies, rapes, all types of shit.
Not the most ideal part of town to live in.
33rd and Diamond, for anybody that knows what 33rd and Diamond is. Row house, 3 stories. And mind you, great grandma I think was born in like 1842.
Damn.
So everything in her house is an heirloom. Everything.
Yeah.
Like all the furniture's got like the wooden molded
Yeah,
handles
yeah.
to it. The feet like come out like little lion's paws and stuff. I mean, like everything in this joint is like the china cabinet. It's got 2 different sets of plates and silverware, like
Good China and the bad China.
nice shit. And
And it's
6
all
bedrooms.
yours now.
6 bedrooms.
Damn.
6 bedrooms in this joint. All unfurnished. Whole basement got extra furniture.
Damn, buddy.
My dad grew up in this house. My dad knows this house like I know my house, like
Back
you know
of his
yours.
hand. Yep.
Grew up in this house. And man, it didn't take but about 2 weeks. I found the people who was just like me in this neighborhood. And I started using again. I probably smoked some weed and drank probably in the first week I was there with somebody. But I found the people who had the crack real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sure wasn't difficult.
Didn't have no job. My dad was coming by like weekly, you know what I mean? So I was going with the job hunt. You know, I was going with the job hunt. You know, you got food in here, I'll take care of you, you know what I mean? Let's get on your feet, you know what I mean? My dad was trying.
Okay.
And I'm faking like a motherfucker. I ain't been out fucking job hunting. I've been out trolling. You know what I mean? Trying to see what woman I could talk myself up on. You know what I mean? Who I could talk some dope out of or some money out of.
Did it feel good having your dad kind of support you in
that
way?
moment? Yeah. But getting high and having the guilt.
Yeah.
Made me keep getting high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And man, then I started selling furniture out the house.
I was gonna ask, like, what happened to the heirlooms?
I had a feeling that was coming.
And I'd go down in the basement and have somebody help me bring a dresser or a table or something upstairs and put it in. You know, the crazy part is that, like, great grandma Nana had been in this house for so long. You move any piece of furniture, there's an imprint of it on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
You know, and here I am trying to put another piece of furniture there
that don't cover it.
That don't cover it. You know, plus Dad knows every piece. He knows everything in this house. And he's like, something different. I was like, oh, I just straightened up a little bit.
Tidied up a little.
He ain't saying that like the first 2 times, I think. I think it was when I got rid of one of those sets of that china.
Oh, yeah.
Is what he first said something about. And then he said something about the other 2 things that I had sold before that he knew was in this damn dining room and living room. No, Dad, you know what I'm talking about? Me and my dad was outside literally in the middle of Diamond Street, fucking fist fighting.
Damn.
He was hurt. He was mad. And still gave me another chance. And then I started selling the bedroom sets.
Who are you selling this to? Because it's not like Facebook Marketplace where you just have somebody come. You got to haul that motherfucker to the pawn shop.
Yeah, I had people fucking pull up pickup truck through the back alley, open up the back door, down the steps, out through the kitchen, out the back door. Bad part was like, you know, there's always somebody in the neighborhood that's got like a nosy Betty.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Who watched my dad grow up so they know him, they calling him or catching him before he get in the house, you know what I mean? They're like, I seen your boy, like, take it to
you guys doing some moving over there, huh?
You know, he came in the door furious. He said, I don't care what you take of yours, but you getting the fuck out of here. That was my first stint of being homeless in my 20s.
Damn. What do you do?
Where do you go?
Legit homeless or you shelter homeless?
Mind you, I had already been like trolling on these women. Like, you know, I'm appearing like the little puppy, you know what I mean, on somebody's front door. You looking for
a hostage to take? Yeah. Now,
mind you, I had already had my oldest daughter at this time, because when I first came out from the from that first prison stint, I got my high school sweetheart pregnant.
Okay.
But I didn't stay with her as a couple, you know. So, you know, I had girl on this side of town, girl on that side of town, girl on this side of town, you know, just being a dog. And, you know, presented myself with a couple bags, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, I need some place to crash for a little bit, you know. Stuff happened, me and Dad ain't getting along, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, my dad was a pretty stern guy. His birthday is actually next week. That's why I won't be at work.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's about to turn 85.
Good for Dad.
And they're like, yeah, I know your dad's pretty strict. And I was like, yeah, you got no idea. You know, I was blaming it on him.
The old victim right here, yeah.
And fell for it, and, you know,
poor ladies.
Moved in with this one lady named Tracy, and man, she had a beautiful daughter. She had a daughter by some other guy who I had never met. He was nowhere in the picture. Her name was Kira. She was a beautiful little girl. I really started to like Tracy. Like, you know, like maybe I could settle down with her. Now, mind you, still got a daughter with this other lady, Lisa.
Yeah.
In another part of town, up in Germantown, actually, Olney. And it's like my brain forgot all about that. And needless to say, using continued. Me and Tracy would smoke weed and drink, you know what I mean? And what I didn't know was that Tracy had already been doing coke and crack, and I didn't know that.
Damn, how do you hide it from?
So she wasn't doing it like a crackhead.
Yeah.
You know, she had endeavored before, and we ran into a guy who she had previously worked with one day, and you know, he introduced, cool, everything's cool, yeah, da 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 da, you know what I mean? And it was like, she asked me one evening, you know what I mean? Hey, remember that guy we met? He's like, yeah. He seemed pretty cool. So he was like, well, he was asking, you know what I mean, to stop by, you know what I mean? We, you know, do dinner, do cards, you know what I mean? Get buzzed, you know what I mean? Whatever. I was like, shit, what he bringing?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, tell him to come on. Like, you know, we sat and played some spades, you know, smoked some weed and drank a little bit, and he rolled out. And the next morning, I was supposed to have to leave to go to work. She left after me. She had to get her daughter to daycare first, and got to work, and they had to mix up in the schedule. I didn't have to be there. So I went and got some flowers, and I went and bought some steaks and salads, some stuff to make a salad. It's like, I'm going to come home and, you know what I mean, surprise her, you know what I mean, and, you know, run her back through the ringer one time. You know, before she got to go to work, she should be, had her daughter off to the daycare by the time I get there. Had one of those locks, you have to have a key to lock it when you leave, and a key to lock once you get inside. So key on both sides, and
Okay.
her key was still on the other side of the door, and I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? And I creep in, and, you know, I'm calling for her, you know what I mean, when I'm trying to hustle all the stuff into the kitchen, you know what I mean, hiding it, you know, come on upstairs. And when I left her, you know what I mean, she was in, like, you know, her teddy.
Yeah.
And, you know, hair was in rollers, and, you know, and I get upstairs and step in the doorway to the bedroom. She's sitting on the side of the bed facing the window, away from her back to me, curls hanging off her head. She's got her bathrobe on. And I'm like, what's going on? How you doing? What's the matter? And she won't say nothing. I come around the side of the bed, man, and she's like, something happened today that shouldn't have. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you know, that guy was here last night. I was like, yeah? He's like, well, he came back by this morning. I was like, for what? He's like, he had some crack, and we smoked some crack. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And so I was like, so why your hair like this? She was like, and it hit me.
Smelled like it in the room.
Smelled like sex. And I'm like, no. She was like, listen, I didn't. She tried to, man, I took off. Remember that rage?
That rage, yeah.
I went downstairs, man. I was smashing shit, dishes out of the cabinet. Kira, the baby, was still in here. She hadn't even took care of her.
She didn't go to daycare yet. Damn.
You know what I mean? She was in her room, and I could hear her crying, you know what I mean? Because I'm tearing shit up downstairs, and, man, it was just a bad scene. And I called my buddy Troy, who came and picked me up. But I left out the door. I threw some stuff in a black trash bag and put it out on the front porch, and I went down the street, bought some Sesamillion, and went to the corner store, bought 2 quarts of beer, and came back and sat out on the front steps and just was getting plastered, waiting for Troy to pull up. She's standing in the doorway, carrying her arms. Can I talk to you, please? Just let me do it. And I wasn't hearing it. It was the first time I really had got my heart broke.
That's rough.
And it sent me. I went on a pretty bad tear after that. I did get back with Lisa, my daughter's mom, briefly, but I still ain't had nowhere to go. I'm still running from pillar to post, you know. And I said, damn it, I got to get a real job. You know what I mean? So I could take care of Lisa and Marquita, my daughter. And I went over to Atlantic City and got a job as assistant chef in Atlantic City Raceway's kitchen.
Okay.
Thoroughbred racetrack. Was coming home, catching a Greyhound.
How far a trip is that? How long a trip is that?
Not long, 45 minutes.
Okay.
And was coming home like every week, you know what I mean? Right back then, you know, when it was weekly pays. It's posted from every 2 weeks. And, man, I started, man, I don't know, it seemed like wherever I went, man, I ran into me. You know what I mean? And I ran into some big old Italian guys, man. You know, the kind that smoke the big fat stogies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The great big pinky nugget
Like on the
rings.
movies.
And, they're up in the grandstand. They're betting the horses. And they said, hey, man, you see you over here pretty often. I was like, yeah, kind of take a bet or two every now and then. It's like, you work over there? I was like, yeah, I work in the kitchen. It's like, oh, hey, you want to make some money? And I'm looking at these motherfuckers like, you know, my brain is Philadelphia hustle. You know what I mean? I'm thinking hustle.
Got you a mark.
He's like, I was like, what type of movie you think? He's like, well, you know, can you bring us some bets? And I was like, what's it to you? They said, how about we pay you $500 a week? I'm like, what?
Whew.
I was like, I can't guarantee the bet. He's like, you get pretty close, man. We got you. And I'm like, can't tell a hustler something like that. So I'm now on my off time from working in the kitchen. I'm roaming through the barns. I'm like talking to trainers. I'm talking to groomsmen. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find out. I'm watching the horses on the racetrack. I'm trying to find some stuff. I'm taking notes. I'm like
you just went all
I'm like an entertainment scout, you know. And I'd meet them guys like once a week, man. I'd give them some bets, you know what I mean? Some of them hit, some of them didn't.
So does that mean you just give them some intel of like, hey, this horse seems out of its
race,
way?
you know what I mean? He's like been coming off an injury, had racing a couple, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And ironic enough, one day, me, the busboy, and the dishwasher got fucked up, the three of us. And I got some scars on my body from that. As a matter of fact, I went through a plate glass window. That's the biggest one. I punched it out. Just like raked myself all up.
Why'd you do that?
I was fucked up. I had alcohol points at myself. Actually, I found out later. They wound up kicking me out of off the racetrack. I got fired.
Damn. Just lost your fucking bread and butter.
Your hustle and your job.
So the lady, Miss Edna, who ran the kitchen, came to the hospital, found out that I had been in an alcohol coma for 21 hours.
Damn, buddy.
They pumped my stomach, and she said, what you gonna do? I got all your stuff packed. What you gonna do? Now, mind you, reality hit me. You got to go back home to Philly and face Lisa, and your daughter, no job, then got fucked up. And I'm like, guess I'm going back home. So I'm over. Now, the Greyhound bus station is connected to the mall, which is across the street from the racetrack. And I'm walking through the mall. I'm reluctant. I don't want to go to that Greyhound bus station and buy this bus ticket. I'm trying to figure out a plan. You know how they say us as addicts, we always come up with a
got a plan,
some kind of solution.
These couple Latino guys who worked in the stables, they're like, hey, loco negro, loco negro.
Loco negro.
And I didn't know what the hell they were saying. They was calling me a crazy nigga. They said, hey, man, you mucho loco, man. We see what you do, man. I'm like, what? So I got to tell you what I did. So with me and the busboy and the dishwasher, we went and got a case of Busch beer, a case of Budweiser, a liter of White Bacardi's rum, and a fifth of Seagram's gin.
Jesus.
The one with the bubble-like bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The three of us. And we walked back. They called it a package store out in Jersey, liquor store. And that's all we had. No weed, no crack, no nothing. Just that alcohol.
Just booze.
And we're Budweiser, Busch, this, you know, we're just tossing. By the time we walked a mile, we were down to half of each bottle and 1 6-pack.
Wow.
Walking a mile.
Damn, buddy.
Crushing that booze.
Yeah, no wonder alcohol poisoning.
And we turned down the half-mile strip. What's it? Mile. The mile strip to walk back towards the racetrack. And I remember taking off running between them, running away from them, and stopping, and turning around and looked at them, and they both was laughing at me. And I took it personal. Like, who the fuck you laughing at? and I charged them and tackled them both out in the middle of the blacktop, like skinned up, like. And this lady, this blonde, fine blonde, pulled up in a black Jeep Wrangler. Never forget it, the big black knobby tires. And she like opened up the door. Y'all all right? And all three of us looked up at her and started laughing and shit. She was like, oh, closed the door, drove off and left us. That's the last thing I remember until I was in the hospital.
Waking up, yeah.
Woke up.
They told me they carried me back to the racetrack, like, and put me in my dorm room. And I had a combination lock. I know I didn't open it. I must have told them what the number was. And they put me in there and padlocked me in my room.
They put you in the
in my room and padlocked me in. I was like, I don't know about nobody else. When that room gets to doing this,
that's spinning, man.
Yeah.
I had to come up out of here. I think I had to pee too, and I went to try to get out the door and cannot get out the door. And tall, sliding glass sideways windows. It was only about a foot, maybe a little bit bigger, between the window and the door. And all I had to do was slide the window open and lean out and to unlock it.
Unlock the padlock. Fuck that.
Just went the hard way, huh?
Just
had to go the hard way.
I'm bleeding, leaning out the window, you know what I mean? And a guy who was I was a big black guy, a big muscle bound guy, kind of like Bryant's size, but
man.
taller. Was coming through the backside. He's driving a Lincoln Town Car. Back when the Lincoln Town Cars was a big square thing.
Yep.
He had one of those airplane antenna things on the back with the.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Big black cord, looked like a police car.
Yep.
And he stopped. He seen me bleeding, and he came to help me. And I growled at him. And he went and got back in his car, and I was kicking the spokes off of his Lincoln, man, and smearing blood all over the hood of his car and his windows. I pulled that antenna thing off.
Damn,
threw
bud.
it on the ground, wiggling that black one off, broke that off. And came around, and he got out the car, and he said, hey, man, cut it out, man, cut it out. And I growled at him, and he decked me. And I hit the ground, jumped straight back up. Man, that ain't hurt me. And he got in his car and locked his door, man, and got on his big, back then they had the big box mobile phone.
Oh, yeah.
And I seen him get on his phone, and I'm around his car to the passenger window, and I'm like trying to get in the car. He had a 45 sitting on the seat right beside
boy.
him. And he's like this, like looking at me like. And he hung the phone up and he gave me one last look. Put his car in gear and he drove off, left me standing there. They had, of course, just the Latino guys are the ones who observed them.
Saw
Right,
this,
That's,
yeah.
that's what they was telling
That's where
me
you got the
about.
nickname from.
What?
So that's where you got the nickname.
Oh, Crazy Negro?
Yeah.
Local Negro. So they said, yeah, man, we seen what you did. It's like, hey, man, you want a job? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, you want a job? My boss would like you. And I'm like, who's your boss?
Yeah, yeah.
And they say, man, I tell you what, you want a job? Yeah, $400 a week. Now, mind you, I was getting paid $500 for the guys up there. So my brain started calculating, it's $900 a week. Okay, what you need me to do? They're like, wait for nightfall. Come to the back gate. Come over, climb the gate. Come to barn D, knock on room 4. We be waiting for you. Tomorrow morning, my boss hire you on the spot, guaranteed. And I'm like, they're like, trust me, man, trust me. To be so alternative and having to fucking make that phone call.
Going home on the Greyhound.
Yeah.
And having to ride, feeling dejected.
Last second.
And I'm like, for some reason, I looked up and thank you, God.
I had a feeling you were going to say that because that is last second, right before you get on that bus.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I waited for nightfall and threw my bag over the gate and found barn D and room 4 and knocked on that motherfucker. And the motherfucker's in there playing that little salsa music and shit. You know what I mean? And They got weed smoke in the air. They got a little space set up for me, little cot-like type of thing, blankets, pillows. Tossed me a Budweiser when I came in the door. Malta, man, Malta. You smoke a Malta? You know, getting me to smoke some weed. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've arrived.
Got these other two guys over here making some carne asadas and stuff.
Damn, not a bad deal.
I'm like, it's like, yeah, man, you stay here, man. Tomorrow morning we introduce you to the boss. He give you a job, guaranteed, man. I'm like, shit.
And you don't know what the job is at this point, do you?
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no application process here.
And they waking me up next morning and told me, come on, man, boss is here, man. He wait for you down in the office. And go wash your face, man. Brush your teeth. I'm like, yeah, okay. I go in here and knock on this door, man, and this guy looks like one of those guys who was up in the grandstand.
Mm.
And them big old Italian boys, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, what's this motherfucker gonna ask me to do? He said, you ever worked with a horse before? I was like, no. He's like, where you from? I said, I'm from Philly. He was like, oh, you probably ain't worked with no horse. I said, no, I ain't worked with no horses. He's like, you want a job? I was like, yeah, what I gotta do? He's like, just need you to walk the horses when they come off the racetrack. You stand there and hold them while the guy bathes them, and then you walk them until they're dry and put them back in their stall. I was like, that's it? He's like, yeah. I was like, how many horses? He's like, maybe 7 to 8 a day. I was like, that's it? He's like, yeah. So how much you pay? He's like, I pay you $400. I was like, that's $50 a horse. All right.
Okay.
You know. Man, I ain't know the first thing about no 1,400 pound damn horse and shit.
That's
got
a whole
all
different
this damn
beast,
energy
buddy.
That don't know that he could kill me with one step sideways. You know what I mean? This ain't no dog I'm talking about.
Horses are
right.
freaking huge, man.
A kick from a fucking
And
horse.
thoroughbred. Oh, buddy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is right up my alley because I can smoke weed, I can drink, I can snort coke, I could do whatever I want while I'm doing this type of job. There ain't no drug testing, like, you know, you just had to do your job and you could go home.
Mm.
I learned real quick. I'm a quick learn. And, man, that turned into 16 years.
You did that for
Wow.
16 years?
16 years. But I progressed. I went from just walking the horses to hot walking. That's what they call that.
What's that?
Hot walkers. Walk them while they're hot till they dry out and put them in the
Okay.
stall. To being a groom, the one that takes care of them, takes care of their legs, you know what I mean? Gets them dressed, the one that takes them to the track.
No shit.
Then I switched over to harness horses, standard breds, like the ones that were at Cider Downs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those became my passion. And I was I was good at it. Don't ask me how I could watch a horse move on the racetrack and could tell where it was ailing. Don't know. But for some reason I was good at it. And those guys in the grandstand,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, they followed me.
I said, they're your best friends now.
They
You got the
follow
super
me.
inside job.
So when I went down to Kentucky, though, at Lexington, I don't know if y'all heard of Lexington, Kentucky. They got the track called the Red Mile. Has red clay dirt that they ran on. The horses ran on. Very, very fast track. I was killing them. I was making good money working with the race horses. Now I'm making about $2,700 a week working with the horses.
Damn.
2,700.
Yeah. And I'm making bets on my horses and other people who I know that horses are racing in the same race as me. Plus, I know the drivers, not jockeys. Jockeys are in the back. Drivers are in the sulkies behind them.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all legal.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know.
27 a week.
And so, yeah, because you get paid per head per horse.
Yeah.
So if you're taking care of 5 horses, let's say, that's $125 a week per horse. That's
Damn.
out the gate, right? So that's $525. You're taking 5 horses a week, maybe 4 out of the 5. That's racing. To take them to race is $100. You get bonus money if they win, place, or show, first, second, or third.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then owners of the horse will bless you too. You know what I mean? For you.
For taking care of the
Damn,
horse.
but that's a
It was-
good gig.
And then you got the dudes that were
Plus
buying
some-
the
Yeah, plus
inside
your
intel.
extracurriculars upstairs.
Here I go again. Somebody else knows I'm fucked up, and I'm not really grasping it. I'm having to ask the boss for $20 on Monday.
Oh man.
Damn.
This is how much I'm partying. I'm going
God.
to the club 3 or 4 nights out the week.
$2,700 a week back then is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money now, brother. Are you still living with or have you like got your own place at this point?
Oh
Like-
no, I'm traveling now. I'm moving from
Okay,
city
so
to
you're
city.
just hotel hopping.
I'm living on the track grounds.
Ah,
Every track that we go to, you get your own dorm room. So I went from
I didn't know that they had
That's
dorms
such a
there. I
weird
didn't know
life.
that.
on
Yeah.
the backsides, yeah.
I did not know
On
that.
the racetrack. So I went from Jersey up to New York, from New York down to Kentucky, from Kentucky. Oh shit. Churchill Downs, Lexington, Ashland, back up to the Meadowlands, up in Jersey, big racetrack, big major races at the Meadowlands. Out to California, to Cal Expo, Hialeah.
And they covered all of the expenses
Oh,
for
yeah,
all covered.
Yeah. I ride with the horses, or I ride with one of the
Wow.
trainers,
that's nuts,
or
buddy.
another groom who may have had a car. You know, most of the time we just like kind of caravan, put the horses on the trailers, and we just follow them on in, or we drive ahead and be there before they get there. You know what I mean? And get the equipment all set up into the tack rooms, and
So you made a whole career out of that.
yeah, 16 years.
Damn, buddy.
I even been over to Australia and Spain doing that. Mind you, again, the whole time, this fits what I'm doing. I can drink, I can
Yeah.
smoke, I can snort. You know what I mean? I don't see nothing wrong with what
perfect.
I'm doing.
It's perfect.
It's kind of rock and roll lifestyle,
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. Don't ask me how I managed to. I don't know how I managed to survive that. I was doing. I remember a time in Kentucky at the Red Mile. Me and a guy named Nick, this white guy, man, he was a wiry motherfucker, high strung. He drove heavy machinery. So they have a thing called a grader. It's the thing that goes around the track to smooth the track out for the horses. And he drove that thing. And we had a house. Me and him had this little 2-bedroom house right on the outside of the racetrack. And this guy pulled up from the University of Kentucky one day in an old school, like a 67 Caddy with the great big fins on the back of it, with this little preppy guy with a black briefcase. He said, "Hey man, you guys do acid?" And Nick was like, "What?" You know, me and Nick sitting out in front of the house, you know what I mean, in some chairs. We're drinking Bush beers and smoking weed, listening to Dr. Dre, the Chronic.
Oh yeah. Good album.
And
A classic.
Yeah.
yeah, and he says, "You guys do acid?" And Nick jumped out of his chair like, "What?" Yeah, like, you know. But Nick didn't jump up at first. First, when the car pulled up, Nick was like, "Who's that, Bob? Somebody you know?" And I was like, "No," but you know, I'm Big Bad Bob. You know what I mean? I'm walking down
You're
the
going
damn
to
driveway.
investigate,
Don't matter
find
either
out.
way.
You know, and I seen the driver that got out. I mean, this dude was, he's a 6'4", 6'5", like 260, 250.
Damn.
Big motherfucker.
Big boy.
Had on black Dickie
Mm.
set. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this motherfucker like, "What's up, man?" Like, you know. He's like, "What's up?" And then the little preppy guy got out of his hood. He's like, "Hey, we just wanted to stop and ask, you know what I mean?" And I turned and said, "Hey, Nick, you know something about acid?" And Nick jumped out of his chair. He's like, "What?" He come walking down the driveway. He said, "What do you mean?" And the little preppy guy, man, opened up his briefcase, man. He had a stack of 500 sheets, 100 dots on each page.
Damn, he had sheets
God
like that.
bless him for that.
He was a chemist major
Ah,
at the University of Kentucky.
Wow.
damn,
He
buddy.
was making these joints and making a profit. And he said, "Would you guys be able to get rid of some of these for me?" He's like, I have the slightest idea. I'm looking at Nick. Nick's like, yeah. How much you want? He's like, just give me $500. He's like, how many sheets you gonna give me? He says, I give you 10 sheets. Just give me back 500. Each tab is $5. There's 100 tabs on a sheet.
Oh man,
Yep.
okay. Damn, buddy.
That's 5
So
stacks.
this kid didn't know what he had?
He didn't care. He was making them for nothing.
For nothing, yeah.
Yeah, he was the chemist.
You know?
Jeez.
And then Nick said, yeah. He's like, how long would it take you? He's like, what's today? It's like, it's Friday. Give me the next Friday.
A week.
He said, you can give it. He's like, I can have your $500 next week. Nick was working his brain. I had already counted. I was like, that's 5 bands for one sheet. $5 a tab, 100 on each sheet. And they give you a stack like this. I'm like, okay. Yeah,
Done.
all right. He's like, you sure? It's like, yeah, man, we live right here. He goes, I don't know if y'all remember those old school cars. The ashtrays was like this big, about that big.
Yeah.
He opens the ashtray like this, man, and reaches in and grabs a handful and says, here, these are for y'all so that y'all don't have to mess up your profit.
Ooh, okay.
Damn.
Good to man.
Man,
You get rid of them?
man, I ate 2 of those
Okay.
immediately. Nick ate 2 of those.
Didn't know what the hell you was taking.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I had done purple microdots once when I was in
Okay.
high school. Like, I don't know, I was just added it in with the rest of the arsenal that I had done.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, I didn't feel shit, addict.
Yeah.
But I took these 2, and Nick said, I gotta go some beer. Nick had this real expensive ass bike. It was like a 24 speed back in the day. That was like, big shit back in the day. And he put on his fucking Oakleys, his t-shirt, his baseball cap, cut off shorts, and some fucking flip-flops. 2 baskets on the racks on the back of the back wheel. He's like, I'm going down to buy some more beer. He's like, plus I'm gonna see if I can get anybody want to buy some of this real quick.
Acid.
I'm like, all right, I'll be right here. Man, Nick was gone for like about almost 2 hours. And I'm like, damn, he must have ran up on somebody. He get back, of course, he only got one 12-pack with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He ain't got no fucking shirt on. He ain't got no hat on. He's got no shoes on. He's got his shorts on and his Oakleys and the bike and one 12-pack. And he's like red all down through his chest. And I'm like, dude, you all right, man? You don't look too good. Nick had ate 5 more of these while he was riding.
Boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Riding his bike.
Poor
So
Nick.
he had about 7 of them.
Holy
And
shit.
he made about $400, like in that hour and a half, 2 hours. He was
Good for
gone.
Nick, bro. That's
While he was tripping his
Tripping his
balls
balls
off.
off.
damn Nick.
I don't even know how he made it back to the crib. I don't. Needless to say,
7 tabs.
when he he showed the money, and I'm like, what? I'm excited. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me get 100 of that, man. I'm gonna go. I had to go get some crack. You know what I mean?
God
I'm
dang
just
right.
calling now. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like this. So I'm about to get it in, and I come back, man, and Nick is totally fried. All the lights are on in the house. It's just like dusk now, and he says, hey, man, you got to take one more, man. You got to take one more. And I'm like, bro, I don't really want them. He's going to take one more, man. For some reason, in 20 minutes after taking that one more, it seemed like all 3 of them hit me.
Oh,
Just
man.
the
And,
wave.
You got hit.
Yeah. And we moved every piece of furniture. It was in a rancho style, everything on one floor. We moved everything out the front door and out the back door and painted this whole motherfucking house. Every room in this house, man, we painted something in it.
No shit.
Like railroad tracks, sunsets,
What?
Sweat.
nightfall
Artistic,
scenes.
yeah.
I'm talking about every room in the house, the kitchens, the bathrooms,
Wow.
the shit kitchen, everything. Every fucking room in the house, man. Overnight. Still with Dr. Dre the Chronic on repeat.
Chronic, yeah.
And Rick's got to be up at 6 o'clock to be on the track to fucking run his grader. 5 o'clock a.m. came, and we're still tweaked the fuck out. And I was like, Nick, you know it's 5 o'clock. He's like, it is? Oh shit. You know, it's like, man, get in the shower, man. I'm gonna go get you some coffee. That fucking cup of coffee didn't fucking help.
Nah, it's
At all.
hard to come down off 7. Hit some
No.
fucking acid, brother.
And
Cup of coffee ain't gonna do shit.
he ran that grater through the motherfucking end of the wall at the end of the racetrack. So, you know, you're supposed to follow the groove of the racetrack all the way around, and then, like, it comes out as you go around, you know what I mean, to get to the outer ring of it. He came down that backside, man, and kept going fucking straight, man, right? The cobblestone brick wall.
Oh, my.
Right through that motherfucker, man. He said he got fired that day.
He got fired that day? Poor
He
Nick.
got fired that day. But he had money.
Yeah.
He slid them
He
tabs.
got the tabs.
Dude came back that Friday, and he still had fucking a stack of them motherfuckers. And, I wound up getting into a fight with him, man.
With the Nick guy?
Yeah, he cut the shit out of me, man, with a blade.
Damn, buddy.
For what?
Because we was high. You know, we would, like, we worked together during the day, and then by night after we start
And you're partying
getting
together.
fucked up and shit, you know what I mean? Our differences came out, and, you know, you know, I'd crack him in his jaw and shit, and he'd pull that blade out real quick. You know, he was one of those guys who carried the wallet connected to the chain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? With the
Yep.
big black boots, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It was just the type of life we was living, you know what I mean? And get high, but friends by day and shit, and fucking turn to worst enemies.
Good
by
friends,
night.
better enemies.
Yeah. So I wound up getting here to Columbus, Ohio through Lebanon, Ohio.
The prison, Lebanon?
No, the racetrack.
Oh, okay.
The racetrack. You know, it was Lebanon Raceway.
No.
Yeah, there's.
I remember know that
yeah.
either.
And got to Scioto Downs, man. Good old Scioto Downs. Was about to test to be a driver myself, to be able to, you know, be one of the drivers. But I couldn't pass the drug test.
Imagine that.
So I knew, well, they actually had set it up when we was down in Lebanon, because it was the same people, trainers, grooms, and everybody that was in Lebanon. The meet was ending there, and it was transferring up here to Scioto. So the commission and everybody knew I was in line to take this test. I was kind of like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, because, like, I knew I couldn't have nothing in my system, but I was still just getting high. Didn't realize that, you know, I was caught up in addiction. I didn't realize it.
Couldn't stop.
And you probably would have never met me if I had have, like, been good. Y'all probably would have never met me. I mean, who knows where my life would have took off to. So I was here for 3 days, Columbus, Ohio. 3 days. Was about to go into a race. Had my horse up in the paddock, all dressed up, ready to race. And the fucking commissioners came to me and said, "Hey, come here. We want you to take your piss test now."
Oh, no. Super rando.
Heart into your fucking butthole.
Yeah.
I've been here 3 days. So, needless to say, I did not pass that test.
Yeah.
They gave me a 10-day suspension
Okay.
from the racetrack. Put me off the racetrack for 10 days.
That's not bad. Doesn't sound bad. Yet.
So what it was they was giving me enough rope to hang myself.
Mm.
So I'm staying at the hotel that's down the street from Scioto Downs. Motel. Motel is, outdoor. Yeah. Day 7 of being on suspension, I'm fucked up and done drank some 40 ounces. I go back and trespass onto the racetrack
Oh, Bob.
to go see this little white girl who I liked, who liked me. I knew her ex. I knew why they broke up. That, you know, everybody knew we liked each other. She was already a driver. She was up and coming. She was doing her thing, and I could not wait. And I went back onto the racetrack. The guards and shit just waved me in and shit, because, you know, they didn't know I was on suspension.
Mm.
Right. But one of the guys who I used to sell to followed me when I came onto the racetrack. He knew I was on suspension. He probably thought I was coming back in to find a stash that I had on the racetrack. He never approached me. He just followed me.
He just creeped from
a
afar.
distance. And I went past this German girl. She was one of my drinking buddies. German girl could drink her ass off. Her name was Inga. She had those.
That is German as fuck. Inga.
Inga. She had them string beads that we used to hang on the.
Oh, like in the
Oh,
doorway?
yeah, in the doorway.
Yeah, in the doorway.
Yeah.
And all she had on was her TV, so it was like this blue aurora light, like, oh, you know what I mean? Attracted me.
Bob
Now,
like a
mind you,
moth in a flame.
I'm fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Look at that, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, Singer's room right there. You know what I mean? I'm coming down the aisle through her shed row, what they called it, through the barn. And I tap on the side of the wood, and I move the things over, and Inga's laying in the motherfucking bed, butt asshole naked, but she's passed the fuck out. And I'm like, oh shit, Inga, like, you know, and she never responded. And I just like went to the side of the bed, her little half refrigerator there, and I went in and took a beer out, and I sat down on the floor with the bed at my back with her laying this way. The TV's on top of the fridge in front of me. I'm having a conversation with her. She's
gone.
She's
the world.
gone, and I'm popping tabs of her beer. Somewhere in there, I dozed off, passed out, whatever you want to call it. She woke up, swung her feet off the bed, and stepped on my back. She screamed, I screamed, titties jiggling.
What a scene.
Oh, I was so embarrassed, man. I literally, elbows and knee, crawled out of the motherfucker. I'm sorry, Inga. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm sure this is where it happened. I only had my track ID with me. I had on some of those MC Hammer parachute.
Parachutes?
fucking
Yeah, the parachute
parachutes.
points, yeah.
So, you know, those pockets ain't fucking but this big. They're so fucking shallow. But that's all I had, because remember, I was coming to see the girl. You know what I mean? So I was like easy access, like in my head. You know, I was like, I was
Right.
ready to get busy. And I dropped that ID. I'm sure that's when I had to have dropped it, because I don't remember any other time of the evening. So I leave from there, and I go to this girl's room. Her door is cracked. You know what I mean? I tap and push the door open with 2 fingers, flip the light switch. And she's like, oh, my God, what is she doing here? And I was like, I came to get some pussy, but I'm so fucked up. I just want to go to sleep now. And she said, no, you got to get out of here. You're going to get me in trouble, too. Go back to your hotel room. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll come see you tomorrow. And I'm like, all right. You know, and I pull the door back up and shit. And I walk out to the back. And I go over the back fence, like where I went when I first came in. At the Atlantic City racetrack, over the back fence. I'm leaving out over the back
How
fence.
ironic, right?
You know. And I go back to my room. Oh, before I got there, I'm going down the row. And this little old guy, man, he's like a typical straight up wino type of guy, like red beet nose, the whole nine, like a diehard alcoholic. And he's in this lazy boy with his feet up, like, you know, his window's about that far open. I could hear him snoring. That's the only reason why I knew he was there, because I could hear him snoring as I was coming down the way. And I turned and looked. He's got probably got 8 or 9 empty bottles on the table here. He's got rings. He's got a watch. He's got a money clip with money in it.
You go trick-or-treating?
Yep.
I hopped up in the window.
God, Bob.
Yeah, I did. And jumped back down. Then I hopped the fence and went back to my hotel room.
You did every wrong thing going into that place.
So the rings, the watch, and the money clip I put up in the drain, the gutter thing that comes down the side. I had a corner room, and the damn spout was right off the corner.
Okay.
I put all that stuff up in there. I kept the money, took it in my room with me. And the next day, the girl's ex and his friend was knocking on my damn door. I came to the door in my underwear. I was hoping it was her, honestly. And he's like, man, why you do that to Lori? And I was like, what are you talking about? Do what to Lori? You know what the hell you did? I was like, what are you talking about? And they held up a Xerox copy, blown up, of my track ID. And I'm like, what the? And where the fuck you get that from? And I'm like, You know, I backed
Where
out
the
of the
fuck's
front
my
door.
ID?
You know, my ID is gone. And I'm like, where the fuck you get that from? He's like, what was you doing last night, Bob? What was you doing? I said, what you mean what I was doing? He's like, yeah, you was in Lori's, man. You robbed her. And I was like, what? No, I didn't. He said, yes, you was. You want to tell me you wasn't on the racetrack? Where I get this from then? And I was like, no, I was there. I ain't robbed nobody. You know, I went to go get some pussy. She told me to come back. I thought you was her. That's why I'm in my drawers. You know. Man, next thing I know, 4 law enforcement swooped up on me.
Oh boy.
Columbus PD, sheriffs, track security, and detectives.
Damn, you had the whole brigade.
4 different law enforcement pulled up on me at that room.
Is this that little motel, all
All the
right?
way off to the right,
Yeah,
down from the,
yeah, down from Scioto, that tiny little motel.
and you know they trying to check me, you know what I mean, and the detectives asking me, and they said, the detective told me they found my ID in the girl's wallet in a dumpster. I said, sir, I don't know how long you've been a detective, but what criminal you know is going to rob somebody and then put their own fucking identification in the fucking evidence and throw it in a fucking dumpster?
Yeah.
Why would I have done that? I was like, you can't see that
Doesn't
somebody's
make
trying
any
to set
sense
me
at
up?
all.
So, mind you, 2 counts of robbery because of the little old dude.
Because the old guy, yeah.
That I did do, but I ain't say shit because they ain't had no evidence. All I had was money. They never fucking
They didn't
seen
get up
that
in the
stuff.
drain spout.
So, I wound up going to jail. 4.5 months trying to go through trial.
This is workhouse time, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wound up getting 4.5 months and 5 years paper.
Damn.
In those 4.5 months, Scioto's meat was done and over with. They had moved on to wherever they were going next. I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, stranded.
Just stuck,
Don't
man.
know nobody. The only thing I know is the 4.5 months of fucking conversation I've been hearing at 2460 Jackson Pike.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
And I heard about all the right places that was just like me, the short north and the bottoms particularly. And they said the bottoms is the closest thing to where we're at. And I heard everybody talking about the route of how to walk down Frank Road,
Oh, yeah, the little...
hit 104,
Yep.
run up the gully, hit that little bridge, hit High Street, turn left, and get to stepping.
Yeah. Welcome to the bottoms.
And I did it. And I'd like to say that, they was trying to give me 16 to 32 for those 2.
16, 32 years?
Yeah. Yeah, 8 to 16 for each one of them. 2 F2s.
Golly.
Yeah. Didn't have enough evidence to convict me.
Man. 5 years paper, though. That's still
gave me
pretty
5
rough
years tail.
for an addict like Bob.
Would love to say that I just completed those 5 years of paper. I caught 7 more felonies while on that paper.
Wow.
Holy moly.
7 more.
Yeah, and never had none of that come back at me. There you go again.
So you got caught for 7 felonies, but never had to serve prison time for it?
Not.
What do you mean?
No more prison time after that here. I skipped my other 2 prison stays. One was up in Portland, Maine, and another one was in Kentucky.
Jesus.
But that's just, I don't know if you know anything about those 2 different states, but they're like, as soon as you go to what we would call Roundup, our county, they automatically send you next door to make sure you get a number put to your charge no matter what it is.
Okay.
They're just dicks like that.
Damn.
So I walk to the bottoms. I'm like, my peoples. It's like everything's going on. You know what I mean? The girls are tricking. People are robbing. People are hustling. People are sleeping outside under the bridge. They don't want to miss nothing. The open shelter was there. Then I don't know if you're at State and Starling. I was too prideful to knock on the fucking shelter door to ask for a fucking mat and to go inside to sleep. I slept outside with these motherfuckers. For 3 years.
Damn, dude,
Wow.
for 3 years sleeping
For 3
outside
years.
during winter and everything.
during winter and everything.
God.
And caught 7 more felonies. And each time, they let me back out that door. I just knew they was going to have a holder on me, you know, for the 16 to 32.
So would you just go in there and do 30 days probation or parole violation, get out, do it again?
Yeah. Or a new drug charge.
No shit.
You know, most of it was possessions, drug paraphernalias, simple assaults, you know, that type of what comes along with the mayhem. And it would have been lovely if, you know, I had learned my lesson early. Mind you, by this time I'm like 38. And I had a great idea again.
Some of Bob's classics.
You know, that I was going to make enough money in the next 3 days to be able to go to the hotel and play King for the weekend. Y'all don't know about that.
It's like some short-term goals, bud.
Yeah, so I went into downtown. Lazarus was downtown still.
Oh, yeah. City Center?
Mm-hmm. And I went in the side door to Lazarus. I think it connected to Rich Street. I think that side street connected to Rich Street or Town Street. I can't remember. And mind you, I'm homeless. You know, it's not like as if I'm dressed anywhere near the way we're dressed right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm stick out like a short thumb.
Yeah, you're noticeable.
Yep.
Plus, you probably could smell me. Security guard immediately got alerted by one of the sales reps when I came in the side door. Because I peeped him, you know, because I'm already looking for him. I'm browsing, but I'm keeping my eyes up.
Yeah, your peripherals spot on.
And I peeped him. Back then, the FUBU 05 jerseys was out. You know. This ain't one, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I snatched a rack of them from small to extra large or 2X. Snatched a rack of them, armful.
Grab and run?
Out the side door, all the way down one thing. And this fucking guard chased me all the way to that bridge.
Damn.
Wow.
That's doing too much.
Yeah. He chased
too
Loved his job.
I probably dropped about 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. But I kept trucking. Remember I told you I ran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran back home in Philly.
Long distance.
Now, I'm going to tell you why I did that. I was having an interaction with a buddy who had just came from downtown probably a few hours before, so they probably was on high alert. He went to the dope boy with a FUBU jersey, and dude gave him a 50 for one jersey.
Damn, okay.
Okay.
So my brain said,
you could be all right.
Remember I told you I had the great idea about setting up for the weekend.
Yeah.
I got stuff sized for his kids, for his
the
girl,
whole family,
for
man.
his sister, for him,
Cousins,
his homies.
nephews, nieces.
And this motherfucker gave me a 20 for all of them.
Oh.
Get out.
And I was so fucking heated, so mad. I didn't even smoke that 20 when I left out of there. I broke it in half and tried to make it a 40 to sell to somebody else, and
man, a 20.
I was so fucking mad. Remember I told you that rage? That rage was always behind a lot of my shit that made me keep on diving deeper and deeper and deeper. It made me crash, though. I'll tell you about how it made me crash in a minute. But, so, I think that was on a Wednesday. So, I had estimated the worth of the jerseys that I had in my hands was a few $1,000s, right?
Yeah, because that shit was expensive.
They were
back
going for
then.
like $2.25 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the
That shit was hot.
And so the next day, I got up, woke up early, came too early, whatever you want to call it, off the sidewalk, and I went and connected with this other dope boy. And I said, hey, man, I need you to put me on with something so I can get started. He said, how much you got? I said, I got $17. He was like, I'm going to give you a working 20.
A working 20.
I said, cool. He's like, just make sure you come back and spend with me. I need to tell you, I worked with that all the way up until a few $100s.
Damn.
In about 7 hours. Came back to him, was about to get a half a O. Crackhead. Living on the street. And he checked my money in. Oh, well, you ain't got nothing coming. You owe me this. What? The fuck is... You gonna play me like... I'm a good hustler. What is you doing? I'm always bring you money. Bro, you ain't got nothing coming, man. You might as well step off my porch.
But I don't get it. So...
They were just using me as a crackhead, you know.
Yeah.
Regardless of me being a good hustler or not, you know what I mean? I've been bringing him money all day.
So you turned a 20 into a couple $100.
Yeah.
Damn.
Brought the money back to him so you could re-up.
Yeah.
And he said, no, that's mine.
Yeah. But I mean, I had did it all that time, all day for the past 7 hours.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
That's mine.
It's mine. You owe me that.
What's Bob do?
I think I waited on one of those guys up on West Broad Street, one of them truck drivers. Because, you know, you got me, I got to get somebody else.
Yeah.
He you know, unfortunately, them truck drivers, they're very predictable. They only really did that about 1 or 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm up still roaming around anyway. I'm mad as fucking hot fish grease. Anyway, and seen him, flagged him, he pulled over and shit. I'm like, what's good, man? All right, you back in town? All right. What you need, man? All right, hold on for a second. Wait right here, though. Don't move, man. Stay right here. Put your hazards on. I'm around the corner. I grab something real quick.
Did the hibbity-dibbity.
You know, real stuff. I bring you back real stuff. The
First
time.
Yeah.
And once he get high, I'm like, hey, man, you need one of them girls, man? I got you for there, too. But you want something else, though? Because you know you're going to need something else if I bring you a girl.
Yep.
He give me another $100 and be like, I'm like, is this for her or is this for... I was like, you might want to give me 50 for her. I'll get you some more stuff with this. So now I got 150. Pew.
Later.
Now I'll go start with another dope boy.
Another dope boy.
It was just a repetitive thing. But after 3 days, man, I had like $3,500
Damn.
pass through my hands. And the last day, there was 2 14-year-olds and a 16-year-old back me out of their door with a sawed-off shotgun to my stomach.
Damn.
And told me that I better not turn my back on them because they was going to put a hole in me if I did. And that rage, something inside of me shifted like to straight homicidal, suicidal mindset. Like reckless abandonment, I don't give up.
Do it.
I would kill all these motherfuckers,
Yeah.
you know.
One way or the other, it didn't matter to you.
It didn't. I came out of the spot back down the street, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, in my brain, I had the most irrational thought in the world. I said, you can just go to Minute Man and work for 2 days, and you can buy that 38 snub nose that you seen in the case up at Uncle Sam's pawn shop. So irrational.
Genius idea, right?
No, you have to give them your ID and your social security card to buy a firearm. Like, no, dummy. As soon as you put a body on it, you're done. But that was the thought initially. And
Uncle Sam's was the best, by the way.
Uncle Sam's
Sidebar.
Yeah, Uncle Sam's pawn
They
shop.
paid.
They paid like they weighed. They did.
They did.
They did.
Fuck Lebs.
Yeah. So I did not do that, of course.
Did not buy the pistol.
Talked yourself out of it, or
when I was coming down the street, there was a guy, one of the guys who I associated with out there was coming out of the corner store with some 40 ounces and about 4 or 5 of them. And I was like, yo, man, let me get one of those. Now, you know, everybody knew that I was like doing what I was doing, you know what I mean? And I would do twos and fews with almost anybody, more so than what the regular dope boys would. So he gave me one of the 40s, like, yeah, here, Bob, because he figured I'd be breaking him off something eventually. And I started, just like what we know about alcohol, um, instant asshole, but I was surely trying to change my mood. I was trying to convince myself of this gun thing. And I tried to take it to the head, altering my mind and changing my mood. And this girl, one of the ladies of the neighborhood, was walking down the street with a Walkman. Back when the Walkmans had the orange fuzzies and the headphones. And I said, let me listen to that. Yeah, here, Bob. Because she probably thought she was going to get broke off something too. And I'm drinking this 40 and I'm listening to this Walkman. And a song came on, man, by Aaliyah. 1 in a Million. It's a love song. In some kind of way, man, I heard God talking to me through this song. That his love for me goes on and on and on. I give him a real good feeling all the day long. And it was like, I don't know how, but it humbled me. It made me real calm. And I went and sat down right across the street from the shelter. And I made a decision in that moment. I was done.
Yeah.
And I walked to that door and I knocked on that door and I asked them for a mat. It was a Friday. And there was a lady who worked in that shelter that used to see me pretty regularly. Pretty little chocolate girl, Miss Robin. Imagine that. Her name was Robin. Miss Robin E. She used to always look for me every morning. And she'd see me, she'd point at me. She says, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. And my arrogant ass, I'm like, you see that, bro? She wanted to
Yeah, she wants some of this.
Yeah. Like, I looked for her. I waited. I stayed in that shelter all weekend long, all the rest of Friday evening, all day Saturday. Finally took a shower, got some clean drawers, got some clean socks on, clean outfit on, ate some meals, finally. Sunday, a church van came around. I jumped on the church van and I went to church. Hadn't been to church in Lord knows how long. Probably thought I was going to burn up. Monday morning came, and I was up bright and early. And I was at the front door, and I seen her car pull up. And I opened the door up. And I stood and I seen her stop, and she looked up and down the block. Dropped her head, went to her back door, got her briefcase out in her purse, closed the door, locked it, and turned around and started walking toward the door. And I said, I'm ready. And it blew her mind. She dropped her purse and her briefcase out in the middle of the street, man, and rushed me into her office and had me in treatment like this.
Get out, bro.
Wow.
And back then, man, like, it was waitlist.
It was hard to get in
because
the,
there wasn't a whole bunch of treatment centers like it is now.
Yeah, it was hard.
She had me in treatment in 2 hours.
Damn.
Good for her. Wow.
And I kept going ever since. She's since passed away, but I'd always called her my angel.
So you literally, that's when you got, that's
That
when
was
you were
it.
done.
That was it.
What day was that? August 26th?
August 25th.
25th.
So my clean date is August 26th, 1999.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Reality check of, Bob, you ain't seen your daughter in 14 years. You ain't seen your mom in 18 years.
Damn.
You ain't seen your dad in 17 years. Your sisters. And it was like, whew. That was enough pain that if I was going to use again, that's probably when I would have done it. That's how come I truly believe that it was a total surrender. Because it was like, no, I got to feel this one. I got to feel this one. Like, the crazy part was, I couldn't remember nobody's phone number except for Dad's. How fucking ironic. Dad is who I had to call after almost 2 decades of none of them hearing from me, to get back in touch with everybody in my family.
Damn.
My dad.
How do you take it?
Actually, a whole lot better than I had ever expected. I mean, I could tell in the tone of his voice, like there was some type of relief that I wasn't dead somewhere. And he was willing to help me again, to give me phone numbers to my mom and to Lisa, my daughter's mother. Actually, I think he gave me my sister's phone number and my mom's number. I think my mom gave me Lisa's number. It took me about 2 weeks to call everybody, though, because it was so emotional.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was so emotional. Fear as well. But it gave my mom such a sense of relief, man. She cried like a motherfucker, and that made me cry. Like, we both on the phone crying hard as hell. You know, and then, of course, she cussed me out. My mom, my mom's a black Cherokee Indian and full of fire. Then she lit my ass up, and I deserved it. You know, she laughed with me afterwards. You know what I mean? She said, "When am I going to see you?" And I was like, "I don't know yet, Mom. It'll be a little bit yet. Like, you know, I'm in treatment, and you know, I got to get myself grounded in this. You know what I mean?" I was lost. I did get to spend 10 years clean before she passed away.
That's cool.
So,
Huge.
That's a
it was a great big amend that I was able to give back,
Yeah.
to give her a son that she had lost. You know what I mean? That I had actually abandoned. That's pretty much what the hell I did. I abandoned everybody. I was running from me. Didn't want to feel it. You know.
I mean, can you imagine one of your daughters just disappeared and you didn't hear anything for almost 20 years? Like, then you answer the phone one day and there they are. Like, how crazy would that
I
be?
don't know. That would
Rock your world.
probably
Yeah, that's a
completely.
ground shaker,
Probably
man.
like, you know, as a grown man, probably straight drop me to my knees.
Yep.
You know, as much as I love both my girls, yeah, that would devastate me. You know, it would just devastate me for them to just not be in communication with me.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, I'd be hurting for a long time. You know what I mean? And confused, unaware. You know what I mean? Total fear. Like, it wouldn't even really be so much be about me having feelings of abandonment. It would be about me just worried to fucking
Yeah,
death
that
about
they're
it.
all-
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So my mom had told me that before, though. She was like, you know, when I called her from jail, that first prison number in Gratisford,
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Oh, thank God." And I was like, "What do you mean, thank God?" She's like, "At least I know you're alive and safe."
Yep.
She's like, "You know how many nights I've wondered where the hell you were? You don't call nobody. You don't, you know." So she knew I had, you know, was going from woman to woman, though. She knew that, you know, you gonna get yourself in trouble doing that. Yeah, I was getting myself in a whole lot of trouble doing a whole bunch of things.
Whole lot of shit.
So, but yeah, I got blessed to make it over to this side. I got a lot
What'd you do?
Went through treatment.
Okay.
And like threw myself into a surrender, man. Like, you know, like being able to be honest with myself. I knew how to work. I knew how to get a job. I just didn't know what to do with it when I got it, or how to keep it.
You'd always find a way to devastate it.
Yeah,
Sabotage it,
no,
self-sabotage.
so many blessings, and I would just like squander them. I realized that addiction is that powerful of being the core that, you know, it was all about my total egotistical self-centeredness, that I didn't care about anybody else's emotions, feelings, what they had going on in their life, or anything. It was just about getting that instant gratification at all cost. And I hurt a lot of people. You know what I mean? And My afterthought is, but that's not what my intentions was. But
Yeah,
hell,
I didn't mean to.
The road to hell was paved with good intentions,
Mhm.
Bob. Like, the world does not revolve around you, and made me humble through being humiliated,
Mm.
you know. I don't know. I think if I didn't have the pain of the humiliation, I would have never changed.
That's a good motivator.
Yeah, yeah. So I know the pain of not being a dad it once kept me out there. Now was one of my biggest motivators to stay in here. So, I think I would still be clean even if my daughters weren't talking to me. I would still be clean. I realized that I didn't like myself a whole lot. And I thought because I was weak that I couldn't do something to help my mom, that I deserve to be going through what I was going through, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You was talking about the self-sabotage. It was more, I sat in a real deep tub of self-loathing, pity pot even.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize it.
We love doing that.
Yeah. And
For us.
And I was like being fueled by my anger, that rage, man. I was just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? And if I'm fighting with Dad, ain't nobody on the block got a chance. Like, I spent a stint in St. Louis. If y'all know anything about St. Louis. Back in the day, St. Louis really didn't deal with brothers of color too much. And I found myself in this little schwank country peanut shell on the floor type of spot that had T-bone steaks that overlapped the dinner plate.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good eating. Good eating. Big old steak fries, like good eating. I'm a fatback, so, I was about that life. And I was in there with my boss and his brother, two big country, red-bearded, lumberjack, what's the thing
Overalls.
called? But overall type of wearing guys.
Yeah.
We had just now won 3. We won 2, placed in the second, and 1, and the other one didn't finish in the money. We raised 4 horses that night, so they made money off of 3 horses out of the 4. So we was over in the little pub over there, whatever that restaurant, pub, tavern, whatever they wanted to call it. Kind of getting a grub after the races. You know what I mean? And I'm like doing a little sawdust bowling board, the little pucks.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
salt.
yeah.
Yeah, the salt
Yeah,
thing.
with the
Yeah.
pins go up with it. I'm over here I'm sipping my mug, you know what I mean? I'm jamming. They got Black Velvet playing in the background. I don't know if y'all know that song.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm singing it. Black Velvet in the middle of the night. I'm like kicking it. And a couple of their little ladies came over, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, yeah, okay, you know that, you know what I mean? And this one guy, man, just came out of nowhere. Hey, man, you don't belong in here.
Mm.
What do you mean by that?
I'm like, what? Whatever, man. You know what I mean? I kept on playing, you know what I mean? It's like, you better watch your step or something shit he said to me. And I kept on playing, man, and then another one of them girls came over, and she wasn't on the outside. She went all the way to the inside and inside. So it was the window, her, me, the machine, and me. Then him. My boss and his brother were over there at the bar. And here this other motherfucker come with this bullshit. Hey, man, you gonna quit singing to our women.
Huh?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, boy.
I took that mug to the head, and I crashed him.
Damn. Got him with the cup or the mug?
The mug. I put my fingers in the ring.
Oh,
You
man.
gave him one of them
Oh, man.
Palmers.
And started a big-ass barroom brawl. The first guy who had first came over, I hip-checked him and shoulder threw him through the front plate glass door.
Rightfully fucking so.
Started a whole big. Never got my fucking steak. That's what I was really mad about.
Never got the.
Now, mind you, they told me I was kicked out indefinitely, but my bosses was couldn't come back for 2 weeks. But I was kicked out indefinitely. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, that rage thing I had, man, it dictated a lot of how I moved, man, for a long time, and I never had addressed it until I got clean. And it took some real good counselors to like really slow me down, make me have to feel. And it started my healing process. And I think with being able to help other people really helps with my healing process. So I'm not hair trigger anymore, you know. So I'm a lot softer than I used to be. So I say that I've turned into the guy who I used to stalk.
Yeah.
But I'll tell anybody, don't get it twisted. Keep my head on a swivel.
Yeah.
You know, there's a thing that I will never forget. Actually, if I could share this with y'all real quick, I sent it out to my network. I send out a message to my network every day. And this is what I sent out to them today. It said, a good person is not harmless. A good person is a dangerous person who has their monsters under voluntary control. The shadow law, hold on. The shadow law, if you suppress your dark side, it will control you subconsciously. If you don't eliminate your anger, you will integrate it so you can use it as fuel when necessary. Integrate the beast.
Damn.
So I'm a firm believer that if I've practiced it before, I can always re-practice it.
Yep.
I've got blessed to not had a relapse of substances since I've been off of it. But I've had a relapse of behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
But making a conscious effort every day about healing and progress. I've got a whole bunch of those behaviors in the closet under lock. And like, you know, I've not had a fist fight in over 26 years. I've not been back to the workhouse in over 26 years. Oh, ironic enough and shit, I actually worked in that courthouse for 2 years that I used to run in and out of. My boss was a judge, and when he went to interview me, he had all 14 of my arrest mugshots in front of him in a folder. The Busted magazine wasn't out yet. Thank you, God. It just is it's just a different world now. Different motives, different desires, you know, that keep me on this side. So I'm getting older. Blessing I didn't think it would ever happen. So
It's crazy to think about what you just told me and what I see at work every day. Because Bob's the most like professional, by the book, like respectfully by the book guy you can find, and you deal with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And
keep the beast.
Bob is the voice of reason.
Most times, yeah. Sometimes I would just tell them, give me a minute. And I'll have to redirect myself, you know what I mean? So I could come back and dress it, you know, appropriately.
Properly.
Yeah, because, you know, my beast is kind of like Venom, and you know that. You know, fuck you, man. Let me eat him. Like, you know, like, you know, he comes out like that, and I have to be like, give me a minute. You know, before I have to be able to come back, but I already know what the outcome would be.
Yep.
So my outcomes have been a lot different being on this side than what they were on that side. So I'm like, I got too much evidence, bro. My only job every day is to be able to put this key back into that door today. I'm not folding my stuff up and putting it in a fishnet bag, putting it down in a property room at 2460. Not doing that. So
What would you tell yourself back then, now, the Bob now? What would you say to yourself back in the olden days when you were cracking people in the jaw and smashing people's faces into trees and...
get some help now. There's something deep, dark lying inside of you that you need to get addressed. I truly believe that, you know, my unaddressed early years of trauma. See, back in my day, back then, you know, in my culture and that generation, they didn't believe in taking you know, your kids to therapy and
No,
shit like
hell
that.
no.
You know, I would encourage them to get some help because, first off, I shouldn't have been stealing. I shouldn't have been fighting. I shouldn't have been fighting with my dad. There's a whole lot of shit that I shouldn't have been doing that I know today were just trauma responses, you know. I was trying to survive,
Yeah.
you know. That little young boy could have actually learned to live at the age that he was supposed to. You know what I mean? But when I had that opportunity out of high school into the military,
I was just going to bring that up. That moment, God, what a gut-wrenching thing to have happen.
I truly believe I went into the military for them to pay for college. Back then, it was $75,000 a year the military was paying for your college. Bruh.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kidding
run
me?
it.
If I could have had an understanding of the beast that was inside of me, I could have been sitting on top of the world, man. You know what I mean? I already knew that I wasn't the type of guy to just like sit and settle, especially for somebody to treat me or talk to me any old kind of way. It's just not the way that I was built. It's not the way that I was raised, even. If I had have told my dad that when I came home from the military, did I let somebody talk to me? There's no way in the world. He'd have been like, you did what? Considering he was the one who used to send me outside to fight for my older sister's honor, you know what I mean? That's how I got into Joe Frazier's gym and to Ozzy Wright's studios, by the way.
Oh.
Because he used to send me out there to fight for her honor, and I get my ass waxed out there. And then I come back in the house crying, and he fucked me up again. I got tired of getting my ass whooped twice.
Damn, that's 2 L's a day.
You know, so that's why I had him. I was like, man, you got to do something, bro. You keep on sending me out there for this. So, you know, there's no way in the world I could have been able to come home from the military and say, you know, that I just let this man talk to me any old kind of way and I didn't do nothing. He wasn't having that, you know. But I truly believe that I would have been able to handle it in a different way if I had been able to address that demon early. So, but I can't go back and change spilt milk. I know that, to me, God let things happen just the way they're supposed to happen and allow me to survive them.
Yeah, that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah. So, you know, as well as the penitentiary stays, all the jail stays, he allowed me to survive them.
Yeah, you were in a lot of dangerous situations, man.
Man, I had a whole bunch of other gun players that we probably don't have no time for. Trust me, we'd be here probably until 6 o'clock just to get part of the tip of the iceberg. Too many bad situations, man. Gun plays, robberies, beat downs. I've had so many bad experiences, and not all of them was, well, most of them. Yeah, most of them I had some substances involved. I'm not going to lie about
That's
that.
the
Because
common.
I mean, it was the way that I was living. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I was living like that since I was a adolescent. You know, even before I was a teen, I was already.
Yep.
You know, it was just the way that I rolled. It kept my mentality a certain way. You know what I mean? And going roller skating. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Going roller skating. Yeah, come on, girl. Like, you know, it was automatic. Go play basketball. Oh yeah, automatic. Let's go. Like, let's run them. Like everything was. Ride our bikes from one side of town to the other. Okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go. Like, let's ride from here to Fairmount Park. Yeah, okay. We'll buy some more beer halfway there. Like, it was almost about the being outside yourself, trying to feel good. There's a lot of single parent homes, a lot of broken homes, a lot of dysfunctional homes, you know what I mean? So a lot of the kids identified with needing some type of socialization, some type of camaraderie, because they didn't feel it like they had that at home. And God forbid if we have one or two of the older guys in the neighborhood like wanting to take us under their wing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what they was doing. I'm in, because I wasn't getting none at home. I'm in. Like, yeah. Did a couple of things that I really didn't know whether or not, I really don't know what the outcome came of them. That was dangerous. And I didn't want to know. Still don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't blame you there.
Yeah.
Some rides in some cars with some guys that I know I damn sure shouldn't have been in the car with. And X, Y, and Z happened, and we jumped back in the car and kept going. And I don't know what the outcome was, and I don't want to. Still don't. You know what I mean? Somebody was making a joke about when I go back home to Philly to visit, that I'm going to have like 8 or 10 women pop up on me and be like, he is the pappy.
By the way.
It's like, I don't think so. It's like, yeah, you don't know. I was like, dude, I'm like 63, man. Like, how old would the kid have to be? 40-ish, 50-ish? Like,
Yeah.
Wouldn't be no kid anyway.
Yeah, it'd be full-grown folk.
We can get you some back child pay. Man, you better go somewhere. Cut it out. So,
Bob, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
A lot of respect, man.
Interesting.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah, God's blessed me though.
Man, ain't he?
Yeah. I couldn't thank him enough. Still can't. Too many near-death experiences.
Saved a wretch like me.
Yeah, most definitely.
Man.
Out of the muck and the mire, man. Like,
And now you're giving back, helping people too. And that's the best way to stay on that straight and narrow, is to help someone else.
Yeah. Just to have a shift of perspective, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I don't have to be a taker. That I could be a giver without it costing me
Right.
anything.
And you're not expecting anything in return.
It ain't costing me nothing.
Yeah.
No, my biggest asset right now is time. Because I got damn sure enough more days behind me than I do ahead of me.
Ain't that,
So
yeah,
my
that's-
biggest asset is time. So I try to be real wise with my time. My weekends are just as full as my weekdays. So I was telling him and our buddy Tom, man, I do. The only thing I don't do on the weekends is work. But I still work, if you know what I mean.
He's still grinding. He's still playing with them young boys at the...
Oh, yeah, I tore their ass up
YMCA.
yesterday. I tore them up yesterday. Yeah, we was at Birdliner yesterday.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all.
See you at work.
Yeah, absolutely. Bell's on.
Yeah.
You'll beat me there, of course.
Uh,
I think you.
It's a control thing.
I think you and Tom sleep there.
yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.